Yeah.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Allah's World of Finance and welcome to Stock Market Daily. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. By the way, thank you to anybody who joined in on the live stream yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do that again. And by the way, in case you were curious, in case you saw a lot of commercials in that live stream, what happened was that the elevator music from the conference call we were streaming the AMD's conference call for their earnings, and what happened was that the elevator music right before the conference call, I guess that was in the video, and YouTube picked up on that, and I guess Sony picked up on that, and then Sony copyrighted the video, or because we were using their copyrighted music, so then they basically took the video and they could do whatever they want with it. It still allows me to leave the video up, but whatever money comes into that video goes to Sony. But dude, I make probably less than $1 like per video, so I don't really care, to be honest. So that dollar goes to Sony, and but they get to put whatever commercials they want on it. So I believe that they increased the commercials because I was kind of looking at it and it kind of looked like there was a lot of commercials on it. So I'm not really sure exactly what happened with that. So I apologize if you saw a lot of commercials. What I tried to do was I tried to take the ending of that video, which was the discussion where we had kind of the live chat and I was looking at comments and I was kind of responding. What I tried to do was I tried to take that and I tried to put it into its own video as a separate video, in case you guys didn't want to see the whole conference call, in case you wanted to just see our discussion afterwards or whatever, but anyway, so that's what I did. So anyway, I apologize. You guys don't have to watch the videos, but if you do, feel free to go ahead. That's why there's two videos. I just want to kind of explain why there was two different videos. But anyway, that's besides the point. So this is going to be a quick video today, and that's because I'm running late to class, which means that I probably shouldn't be rambling on like I've been doing for this whole introduction. So we're only going to talk about Nintendo's earnings right now because I actually didn't even have time to make a video today, but I was receiving messages and people were asking me about the Nintendo's earnings. And so I just wanted to do a quick video where we could just kind of go over the numbers really quick and I'll give you my opinion on it. Now, there's lots of other stocks reporting earnings. I would love to talk about them. I think Facebook reported today. I didn't have a chance to really look at them, but I believe that they reported some strong numbers. I think Google a couple days ago reported some not so good numbers because of the fine from Europe and things like that, and they kind of dipped. There's a lot of things we could talk about. Hopefully maybe Thursday or Friday I'll be able to make another Stock Market Daily video and we can talk about a lot of stocks. But this will just be on Nintendo. And by the way, as you guys know, Nintendo's my biggest stock. So that's why a lot of people were asking me about it. And I talk about it a lot. It's always in my 3 stocks I'm investing in videos for the month. And I'll probably go a little more into detail in the next 3 stocks I'm investing in video for August. I'll go a little more into detail. But for now, let's just go ahead and jump in. And by the way, in case you're wondering, yeah, my portfolio is doing pretty good at the moment because Nintendo they announced some really strong numbers that we're about to cover. And then AMD announced some good numbers yesterday as well. So both stocks kind of popped. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But yeah, my portfolio looks like it's doing pretty well. So I'm pretty happy at the moment. So hopefully you guys are doing well as well. So let me know if you guys are invested in any of these stocks. Please leave a comment. I'd love to read it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So when looking at Nintendo's earnings that they announced here, so they announced revenue of 154.07 billion yen for the quarter. And that was, so they beat expectations of 136.53 billion yen. So they beat expectations on revenue. Operating profit, and by the way, revenue, it was a 150% year over year increase, almost 150%. So a huge increase year over year, but we're going to talk about that in a second. So operating profit, they announced at 16.21 billion yen, and that beat expectations of 9.52 billion yen. So they basically smashed those expectations. Now the thing here, year over year, it's a huge increase again, and part of it is because in the same quarter last year, they actually had a loss of 5.13 billion yen in terms of operating profit. Now, when looking at it year over year, we obviously saw some really good numbers here, but you have to keep into consideration that last year it was the Nintendo Wii U, and that was a huge failure. And so now it's competing against the Nintendo Switch, which is a huge success. So that's kind of the reason why. So I was expecting year over year numbers to be good. There was other things that I was concerned about. I was concerned about the shortages for the Nintendo Switch, but let's cover those numbers. So they announced those numbers, so we're going to talk about it. So Nintendo announced that they sold 1.97 million units of the Nintendo Switch in this quarter. Now, last quarter, they sold 2.74 million in that quarter. And in that quarter, the Nintendo Switch basically only sold in March because it released in March. So even though that quarter was January, February, March, it basically only sold in March, and that was almost 3 million Switch units. So that sold extremely well. So compared to this quarter, it's actually not that great this quarter, because 1.97 million for April, May, and June, as opposed to just March, and it's lower. So that's not good. But the reason is because of shortages. And what I was scared of was that analysts and investors wouldn't understand that. But because Nintendo announced like such strong numbers overall, I think that helped everybody just be like, okay, who cares? Like they're reporting amazing numbers anyway. This is just because of a shortage, and it didn't scare anybody away. And in fact, we actually had a nice pop. So it was the ideal situation. Like everything kind of went like I wouldn't say that everything had to go perfect, but I think it had to go pretty well, and it definitely went very well. I mean, it practically went almost perfect considering the shortages, and so that's why we had a nice pop today. So when looking at it here, all together, they've sold 4.71 million Nintendo Switch units. So that's very good. And Nintendo kept their forecast of 10 million Nintendo Switch units for the fiscal year, which some people were a little disappointed about because they felt like they could increase that expectation, that forecast, that guidance. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that they reported some really strong numbers. So they didn't really have to increase that forecast if they didn't really want to. If they wanted to keep it kind of conservative and then just kind of beat those expectations later on, which they're going to smash them. I mean, look at it. So like they're already almost at 5 million. They're already almost half of that expectation of 10 million. And they only sold in March, and then in the next quarter they had huge shortages, and now it looks like they're ramping up production. So hopefully that's going to increase production. So I really think that we'll be fine, to be honest. I don't see that ever being a problem, and that's kind of why I think they kind of kept forecasts the same, just because they had such a good earnings report. They didn't really need to increase it, and they didn't want to like put more pressure on themselves, and they're still being kind of cautious. Even though we're doing very well, the Nintendo Wii U kind of scared everybody, so they're still being kind of cautious. Now, when looking at, let's see here, I wrote down so many notes. I'm trying to like keep track of my notes. Okay, so now when looking at games, we can see that for the Nintendo Switch, we've sold 13.6 million games total for the Nintendo Switch. But this is total. And when looking at that, that's almost a 3-to-1 game ratio. So a 3-to-1 game to console ratio. So that's pretty good. That's almost a 3-to-1 ratio. So that's pretty good for the console. Now, when looking at the quarter sales, we can see that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was released in late April, and it's already sold 3.54 million units worldwide. So very strong for Mario Kart, like extremely strong. And when looking at ARMS is a brand new IP, so it's a brand new game, and it was released in June, and it's already sold 1.18 million units worldwide. So that's very good numbers for a brand new game. And then Zelda, like, we just saw that Mario Kart sold 3.54 million. Zelda is like this amazing game that just gets the best reviews. Everybody gives it like a 10 out of 10. That was released in March, so it was released at the same time as the Nintendo Switch. And in this quarter, it sold another 1.16 million units worldwide. And so total, we have 3.92 million units sold for Zelda. And so when comparing that to Mario Kart is doing like amazingly well, guys. Like like at this rate, I don't know, Mario Kart could possibly pass Zelda. I mean, I don't know, like this is really good numbers. Now, okay, so we just saw how well games are selling, how the Switch is still selling pretty well considering all the shortages. And now that they're ramping up production, it looks like we should be able to increase going into the next couple quarters here, and going into holiday season. It should do very well. Black Friday, and we're gonna have FIFA coming out, and we're gonna have Mario Odyssey and a bunch of other games. So I think we'll continue to do well. Now this was a testing quarter. It's kind of same thing with AMD. I felt like this was a testing quarter. If you do well in this quarter, you could pretty much feel good about the upcoming quarters, because this was really a testing quarter, especially with Nintendo with all these shortages, and we still did very well. So that's very good news. Okay, now looking at Nintendo stock, let's see here. So they increased by 5.99%. Now when looking at their performance for the week, we can see that they had a very nice dip here. On Monday, they went down over 2%. Tuesday they went down another 3.5%, and then on Wednesday they went up 5.99% today. So very good. Pretty significant dip there. I'm curious if any of you guys picked up on that dip. Let me know. And anyway, so it looks like we're doing pretty good here. And this was Nintendo's earnings, and I hope that you enjoyed the video. So if you are new, please subscribe. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. And if you watched the video all the way through to this very moment in time, then I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say you're Mario Kart, because you're helping this channel kind of grow and increase, and we might be creeping up on like Zelda. We might be creeping up on like some other big YouTube channels. So anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. So alright, thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you all have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I'll see you guys later, and I hope that you all take care.